How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the podcast. We are
Now we
here
gotta change that
live
name.
from Shane's. We're not changing the name. This is
No,
podcast.
don't stop saying that. I'm gonna bleep that word. So stop saying that word.
All right, welcome to the
Wait,
pod
hey,
that still
hey.
needs to be named. Thank you for joining us.
Ashtray.
Shane is still recovering from a surgery. He is on the couch with a lot of equipment on his knee. Shane, how you feeling?
Not great, honestly.
I can tell by how many joints are in your ashtray.
Oh Lord.
Very well.
Now, does the weed make the pain better? I feel like it would just intensify it.
It
in a
definitely
way.
does. I think I was pretty light on it the first few days afterwards because, yeah, to your point, it would just like I would feel it more. Like I'd be like, my fucking knee was cut open.
Oh, that's pretty rough.
Yeah, no. But it fucking hurt like hell when I
Mm.
would smoke, or it hurt a lot more. But I feel like the pain is a lot more emotional pain now, knowing that I cannot participate in society in a capacity that I would prefer.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I just got to smoke a lot.
That's what I was gonna say. I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's probably worth the relief to the emotional pain.
because it's
Yeah,
like
no, I support
any,
for sure.
any sort of like thing that you're having problems with, or any problem in my life right now, like you just feel like there's nothing I can really do about it right now.
Oh no.
So you're just like lamenting life and just getting filled with regret and just being like, there's nothing I can do at all about any of this.
No.
A good exercise
Yeah.
though, because you realize it's all up here, you know, it's all in
Mhm.
your head. Actually, it's all about your attitude and your perspective.
Ooh.
Wait, but I feel that too. Like whenever I smoke weed, like if I let's say I worked out my back or something, I'll feel sore. But I thought weed was supposed to help recovery.
I don't know. I think that's like a
Isn't that like is
Gen
that,
X myth
was
that
it a
they
thing
spread
that people
about.
in the NFL said because they wanted to be able to smoke it.
They want to be able to.
No,
Well,
no,
it
no.
helps
They
with,
meant like it just helped them with their pain.
Yeah.
It doesn't help you
Physical
recover.
or-
No,
or-
No, it
is
doesn't help with
Well,
recovery.
why is it making you?
Yeah,
It's,
it's
I
not
think it's
like-
more a Shane thing, you know what I mean? Like where it makes you feel nicer when you're recovering
But
because you
why-
just got tackled by a 400-pound linebacker.
But is that mental? Is that the NFL guys doing it mentally, or is it like physically? I thought it was physical. Like
I don't know.
pain
That's good
was
to say.
physically, and you're saying it makes yours.
Well, that's a much deeper conversation. in the sense of, where are drugs really operating? You know, physical
Yeah.
or mental.
I think there's a good argument for like both. Like,
Well,
it's
yeah,
more
you
of a,
look at
like,
fucking stupid shit like
both.
chiropractic, like
Oh, yeah.
practice, which is just complete hogwash.
complete.
Dude,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
As
Like
a-
it's straight quackery.
But some of it is. Oh, yeah, I would never let because that's not a doctor, and they could like legitimately. I've seen the videos online where they take the towel.
Mhm.
They take the towel and they like. Go, and, like,
Oh yeah.
it's
Those
like,
those
bro, you
videos
could
are
kill
gross.
someone doing that.
Yeah,
Honestly.
dude, but like, look, I'm sure it releases some sort of endorphin for the person, and they think whatever is wrong with them is a little bit better, and that's probably worth the price of admission. For
So
them.
yeah, imagine how powerful like the placebo effect must be, where it can sustain this number of practices
Oh yeah.
that do not actually do anything
No,
Yeah.
no.
besides make the person who go there
Just feel a
like,
little bit better.
think that it's doing something, which is like that's
Yeah.
I mean honestly in the way that I see
Dude,
it, it's like
as-
that's fine too.
As someone who's experienced phantom pain, and it has been like what
Phantom
the
pain?
fuck? Yeah, it's,
What is that, a
like,
Metal Gear Solid game? What the fuck is Phantom Pain?
It's Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain.
Wait, that's really a
Bro,
game.
is that really the
I
name of the
think that's
game?
the title. Yeah,
No,
it's
That's
been
the
a
fifth
while.
one. The fifth one.
Yeah,
right?
it's the fifth one. Yeah, but wait,
Yeah.
what is Phantom Pain?
Phantom pain is like pain that basically you go to the doctor or whatever professional like for that part of your body, and it gets to a point like where they just refer you to like a psychologist because they cannot
Oh.
explain the pain.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then you get referred to a
It's
psychologist.
clearly like in your head.
But it's like to you, you're like
No, it's real. Yeah.
You're like nah.
Yeah.
Something's happened, and so anyways. That's what
Yeah.
I'm
no, I
saying,
get
like,
that, but I think that's
it's all
why.
connected in a way we don't understand.
I mean, there's many reasons for this, but that's why there's such a proliferation of all these like like Western medicine
Yeah.
sort of practices that are coming up. That's why acupuncture takes off. That's why I think people are doing more like Kundalini yoga and shit like that. Because it's like there is really only so much that a medical doctor can do for you. Most of the things that ail you are inside your head. Mostly.
I go to Kundalini yoga for the butts.
Wait, what?
Do you think there's any aspect of it though where it's like people also go for some semblance of like spirituality?
Oh yeah, for
or,
sure.
You know, something beyond like their mundane lives. It's so like ironic that like the things that are like their sterile lives, typically like working or whatever.
Are we talking about chiropractic?
has caused such a void that they're using, like they're filling by like going to like a chiropractor.
Oh yeah, well no, because
like acupuncture.
We secularize so quickly as a society. There's still this deep spiritual hunger in people, so it gets filled in whatever ways, in bad ways, right? That's why like there's a bunch of weird, terrible like predatory cults that come out, but also in fine ways. Like I've done ecstatic dance before. Have you ever heard of ecstatic dance?
No.
Ecstatic dance is you just get a DJ and people do they just dance. You're not allowed to talk to anyone. You just go to this place and then you dance in a big room. It's like a workout class, but there's no structure to it.
Right.
Yeah. And so I did.
Music playing?
There's music playing. Yeah. Fucking Jacob. Of course, there's music.
I just didn't say that. I don't know. It sounds pretty weird. So I was like, it could just be a silent room. Everyone's like.
So they go, and I feel like I get out of that what people would get out of like a chiropractor. It just makes me feel better. Like you're out there dancing, releasing endorphins.
Yeah, bro. You feel connected.
Yeah, and people are all like, we're not dancing in unison, but everyone's going to the same beat, and it's like you don't have that same pressure of like going to like a nightclub or something, and you're also like not around a bunch of people on cocaine.
Yeah, there are some cities that just have like the worst nightclub scene, and it really is a matter of like how superficial like that place is. You know what I mean? Like there's like typically a correlation. No, I'm talking about like, so to your point, like if you go to like some like
I saw you
so like a club in like a smaller city, you know, typically people seem to just like let loose a little more, in my opinion, versus like in LA where you go to a club and there's like 3,000 people there or whatever, and nobody is fucking dancing.
Oh, that's the worst.
The hot, like, you know, like the fucking sick, like the most like poppin' tracks are usually going off too. You see videos of it all the time, like on Instagram, and it's just like, I mean, because they're too cool, you know, it's just like it's too cool to dance.
When you're at that stage, you kind of go out just to be seen.
Yeah, that's what they're doing, because it's also LA.
So yeah, to your point now, I feel like that's kind of where there's sort of like a gap for like spaces like that to fill, where you can actually like dance to music,
you're
and
actually
not feel like you're like doing something wrong.
How similar is it to silent disco?
Well, it's loud, but I think it's the same. I don't know.
The silent discos are so stupid.
I know they're stupid, but it feels like people there are like more into like dancing to the music.
Yeah,
it's one of those things that's like a really cool idea. It sounds really cool, and then you go to one, you're like, this is fucked weird.
You're like, wow,
that's something you matched with some girl on Tinder in like 2014, and you're a dork, and you're like, hey, want to try a silent disco?
Yeah, or like they start having them. You know, it's over when they start doing them at corporate events.
Oh God,
you know what I mean? Like offsites and shit. You know, they have like a silent disco that like 5 people try to go to and get something going, and then it just like peters out.
Of course,
I live next to a bowling alley, and every time I see a group in the bowling alley, I'm like, this has got to be a corporate event. No one just goes and bowls.
You'd be surprised, man.
Yeah,
whenever I see someone go in there, I legitimately like kind of feel bad for them.
It is a little.
Don't go. I've gone.
Like, what's wrong with bowling? Bowling's fun.
But like, it's just so like after the second game, like everyone just doesn't give a fuck. It's just like, why don't we just go to a bar and talk?
It really like drops off.
Yeah.
Like when it's your turn to bowl, you're like, God damn it, I gotta stop talking to you guys and go bowl.
Yeah.
Well, if you suck, maybe. I mean,
no, but like you get more into like,
you'd rather
hang.
You don't got a good stroke, then I can see why.
Are you good at bowling? You're so cool.
Yeah, I suck at every time I've ever tried bowling.
Who do you think you are? I am.
I'm just good enough not to be like shit.
Damn it, right?
I don't suck.
Not to humiliate yourself at
like
the
in a group
corporate
setting,
event that you got forced to go to.
Just like are just awful.
You know,
have you ever seen that happen? Like someone just melt down.
Yeah, they always get like guys. Yeah, they get a gutter ball like every time, and they walk back just like.
Dude, one girl, I saw her like fuck up like every type of way during high school. It was like I was in leadership, Associated Student Body, ASB.
Ooh.
We had like a little gathering. We had like a little. It was like you know, it was like a school like. An ASB like off-site, like, oh, we're gonna do something at night. And of course it was bowling, to your point, because in my hometown, bowling was like the only thing you could do. So that's probably why I'm so quick to defend bowling.
Dude, I used to be down for bowling in high school.
Cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, you guys are both from non-major
There's arcades
cities,
there and shit. You can play air hockey.
Your scale for what's cool
pizza.
Changed, but back then, hell yeah.
You don't like pizza?
Yo, I love pizza.
Yeah, what's wrong with pizza?
Dude, we had an ice skating rink right next to the bowling alley, and they had like pizza.
What?
And then like a couple winters ago, enough snow fell, and I guess they just weren't really keeping up the building, and the fucking ceiling collapsed in.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Jesus Christ!
That's a putt golf course next.
I really wish that story took a more positive turn.
It gets
Every time I hear about Jacob's hometown, it's like.
Oh Jesus!
Sorry, I'll edit it out.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. It'll make it funnier that I have to edit stuff out.
I thought that was like a known.
No,
thing.
I mean, I said it last time, but like I even said to Shane between now and then, I was like, I can't be saying that stuff.
Jacobs. Yeah. Whenever Jacobs talks about like Nebraska, it sounds like a
No, but
Nickelback song.
What makes it even sadder is a guy.
Look at his photograph.
Cause I'm in too deep. Is a guy who was a year younger than me and went to my school. He like, I think he just stayed there and he had a job at the roller rink or whatever, and he just really liked it. I guess that was just his life. That's cool, whatever. And then like he had been working there for like 7, 8, 9 years now, and like there's like a big Facebook post he made after it collapsed, and he's like, I'll miss this place.
Oh, poor guy.
Like it was like his life kind
Yeah, it was his whole life. Yeah.
So anyways, that got sadder.
Yeah, see that's
Yeah,
that's
just
feeling
keep doubling down on how
that's
horrifically
feeling
sad Nebraska
connected
is.
to something.
Yeah.
But for real, there's like recurring people. There's other people probably who are also like regulars.
Yeah.
My sister's dad would go to air hockey tournaments.
Ooh.
He was like a competitive air hockey player. Did you know this?
I didn't know this.
Crazy, right? I know. It didn't really sink in when I was a kid. I was just like, it's like, I guess it's what adults do. I don't know. I didn't know how fucking gnarly.
All I remember about air hockey is being afraid of the puck flying up and hitting my hand.
Yeah.
What?
We had one at our parents bought us like a mini one for Christmas one year, along with some other games like mini pool table. But like we played the air hockey a lot, and I ended up like at a certain point. The puck would fly up so many times, and sometimes your hand's right here and it fly up and just boom right into your fucking knuckles.
Yeah, no.
And so I started wearing oven mitts while we played air hockey.
That is exactly what I would have expected you to do.
Yeah,
dude, it hurt so bad.
I mean, like,
how
about you just don't get hit by it?
It's not my fault. It was the product's fault. Like the ones at like the arcades, they don't fly up. This was a poorly made product with the fucking puck.
It's true.
And we would go at it. So if you hit it really hard, it'd hit yours and just go boom like every fucking time.
No, that makes sense. I mean, I've gotten my shit rocked a couple times playing like Chuck E. Cheese. I remember. Yeah.
Well, yeah. The reason I brought that up is because like he had like air hockey friends, that you would see at other places with air hockey.
You make friends.
No, because I'm
saying
like
really
that's why that guy would have a connection to like the roller rink. Because there's the same people. You see the same people in the same place, and then like if it closes, what the fuck am I gonna do now?
Yeah. No, you start once you're a regular at a place, you get real. Like that's why I loved going to Motown Monday. Because like one, I love to dance, but two, it got to the point where I just knew everyone.
Yeah, when
like,
you
there
become
was the set of like 15 people that I would see every time.
There's that dude with the long hair.
Oh, I love that guy, Avdi. I ran into him the other day. Yeah.
When you become a regular, it's cool. Like I've seen that from like going to the same open mics every single week means I go to like the same bars every week.
Yeah.
And it's like on Sunday night, the one I'm gonna go to tonight, it's always the same bartender. And so like borderline, I've seen her like 20 times now, and like she like at least she just knows what I'm there for. Basically, she knows like, oh, you're just here for the open mic. I guess I don't like know her name and shit, but like it's kind of the thing where you just kind of like head nod.
Yeah, she recognizes you. Yeah, the at the open mic at Neck of the Woods, there's Jocelyn, the girl who like is the bartender down there on Wednesdays, and she's great. And I met her when she was the bartender at another of the best bars in San Francisco, Milk Bar on Haight Street.
Whoa.
And I would just blitz. I used to just like go talk to homeless people and get like 3 hits of acid and just walk around the Haight with friends. And I have had like such in-depth conversations with her, like blitzed out of my mind on psychedelics. And when she saw me for the first time do the open mic at the Neck of the Woods, she was like, "Oh my God, you remember me?" I was like, "Oh fuck."
She's like,
but she's like bartender.
She was like a reused NPC character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, you're just like the Matrix is just getting bored. Like it's just putting the same characters in my life. But
it's like
bartender,
like where every 10 people are the same person.
It's another one of those gigs where you could be like no judgments, but you could honestly be a lifelong bartender and make pretty okay money. You're not like balling out. You're not like going crazy.
I think so.
But yeah, I mean, like she makes enough. Like I'm sure she has a partner that she lives at home.
My brother
and then you like stop paying for drinks elsewhere because you like all know each other.
Then you become.
My brother
I stayed at it. Wait, go ahead. Sorry.
My brother was a bartender. Given it was at a place where people gambled, but he would come home with like $500 in tips every day.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
Like,
dude,
I made minimum wage, no tips.
When I first moved to Austin, I stayed at an Airbnb, which was basically just some lady who like owned a house and like leased out the rooms. It's pretty cool though.
That sounds like every Airbnb.
She was like really cool, and she knew I was new, so she like took me out with her one night.
That's awesome.
And she was a bartender, which I was able to pick up eventually.
Oh,
and she went to this bar that a bunch of other bartenders were at, so it was just like everything was free. It was crazy though. It was like everything was free, and then the next part I went to, everything was free.
Oh yeah, because they all know each other. I mean,
They all know each
just
other.
like
And they
your
all have
sister's
sex
dad.
with each other.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, what else are you gonna do?
Guys, you want to be bartenders?
I kind of want to, honestly. That's probably if I didn't have
I'm not trying
chronic
to have
addiction
sex with
problems.
anyone who drives a Nissan Altima.
No, just for the free drinks. I
You're
mean.
missing
well,
out.
I'm
my
not trying to
friend.
drink.
That's some of the
Never mind.
top tier pussy in this world.
I know
Drives
it makes guys go crazy. That's why I'm trying to avoid it, dude.
Now let's start.
That's the type of shit that makes people go insane.
Yeah, dude. Nissan Altima. She
What, being a
has not
bartender?
rotated those tires in
Just like
years.
toxic, like toxic person pussy.
Yeah. Nissan Altima, single mother.
You know what TPP?
best
Yeah,
pussy.
you
Yeah,
know
hell
me.
yeah,
You know what
hell yeah.
TPP? Yeah, you know me.
Oh my god, you guys are
Dude.
missing out big time. I don't know what you're talking about.
That
I'd
shit
say
ruins
die
your
then.
life, bro. I've
Hey, what else?
seen it,
Okay,
bro. It's
what
like
else
a
is going
landmine.
on with your life that you're so afraid that pussy's gonna ruin it? You know, come on, live a little bit.
Dude, no. You had me. That you said. I feel like if you say anything confidently enough, it sounds very compelling. I was like,
I was about to answer.
Yeah. No,
That'd be
being a
like,
bartender would be cool. Being a bartender, you make a bunch of tips, right? You probably don't have to even put that on your taxes. You kind of just dick around.
Dude,
Right?
you know what I'm gonna do?
Don't have to
What I've been thinking of doing as like my moonlight job,
to evade taxes.
a Zumba instructor.
Oh, dude, my mom does.
dude,
She does
nice.
dance.
Dude, right?
Dude.
I think
You
like
could do that. for
being
sure.
like a Zumba instructor for like middle-aged like soccer moms would be pretty
Dude,
tight.
what about being
Yeah.
one of those Peloton dudes?
Nah,
Nah.
Peloton's
Come on,
stupid.
bro.
I'm not a bitch. you know?
Yeah.
Push you harder.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be like a cool dude and help out when people want to hang out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they want to dance. I get to listen to music. You
Yeah,
know,
no,
you get to
that's good.
share
I
it
think
with
that's a
them.
great idea.
Dude, you
And
know
I
what'd
love
be
you
cool?
too, because like middle-aged women are the horniest women on the
That's what I'm
planet.
saying. Yeah.
Dude,
I
you
just
know-
like
you know
playing
what'd
shit,
be-
I'm just like, yeah.
You know, what'd be fun is if we made like a spoof fake like commercial for one of those like order like workout video things.
Like a Tybo.
Yeah, but like
You're a little
Are
late
you
on that
saying that we
reference,
should
my
be?
friend.
I should be Tybo because
You-
I will.
what is Tybo?
Go for it, man. You don't know the Tybo guy?
Jacob, I feel like Jacob. There's like an inflection point in like pop culture because he's like 2 years younger.
No, I
than
know the
us.
one guy who like went missing basically.
Where like your understanding
What's
just
he-
clips off.
What's that guy's
Like for
name?
example, Jacob is unfamiliar with the cartoon Doug on Nickelodeon.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I know he like wears like a green.
No, but that
like,
makes sense because
shirt
the
and
2-year
stuff.
gap when we're that young, you
It's
would
a
just
big
completely
deal.
miss.
That's a big deal.
Because
yeah.
I think Doug was on the air maybe like
Also,
3
I
years,
watched-
Yeah.
Was
maybe.
Doug on Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network?
Nickelodeon.
It was on
Oh,
Nickelodeon.
shit.
It
Well,
is the
Nick
first
Kids, I should've seen
Nickelodeon
it.
cartoon. Doug is the first
What?
Nickelodeon
It was
cartoon.
damn.
Really?
That's sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, because before they were
Yeah,
just
watch that.
And
buying.
then they had Hey Arnold.
They
I
were
watched
buying
that
the
either.
licenses to like show like old Canadian shows or something, and then I think Doug was
Oh,
the
they made
first
their-
Nicktoon
oh,
that
I
was
gonna say,
like.
how do they just have one show?
No, I know that was just their first like
because
proprietary
Nickelodeon
thing.
was like something else. You know, it's just like it's one of those things where it just evolved over time. They're trying a bunch of different things.
Wait, sorry. Who's the workout guy who like went off the face of the map?
Okay, so Tybo.
Not him.
No, wait, we don't know that. That's such a vague.
What are you
like,
No,
talking
how
he was
would
like
I know?
the guy. He was like really flamboyant. Like
There's
Oh,
no-
Richard Simmons.
Richard
Yeah,
Simmons,
no,
yes.
no. Yeah, Richard Simmons. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he just stopped
I
because he was
get
done.
confused with Russell Simmons all the time.
I know,
I remember
yeah.
when I was young, I never knew who people were talking about.
I don't even know
Yeah,
who
yeah.
either of those people really were.
They're
and I was
very
still
different.
confused
too.
by it.
Like, it's
No,
completely
exactly. So like, you can imagine how high the stakes were and
Dude,
how often I
imagine
get it
imagine
wrong.
when people mentioned Charlie Murphy to me as a kid. In my mind, I was like, "Oh, this guy just messed up the name."
Oh yeah, you would think it was yeah.
I didn't know who Charlie Murphy was.
Why would anyone in Nebraska ever be speaking about Charlie?
Bro, I
Murphy?
watched Dave Chappelle. I watched the Chappelle. No, when I saw the Chappelle show
That-
skit with Charlie Murphy in it, I legitimately thought it was Eddie Murphy, and it was just
That's
not
pretty
Eddie
funny.
Murphy.
That's
Mm.
funny.
It was like a different version in this fictionized like he's named Charlie.
All right, so
But anyways.
Tybo was this fucking bald, fit ass fuck, cut up black fool who in the 90s, I think, I want to say like early to mid 90s, was like his peak popularity, would make like these like home workout cassette, like VHS tapes. You know, they'd put commercials on it on TV and you fucking
Yeah.
call the number and pay
Yeah.
shipping and handling.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
19 just 2 easy payments in 1999.
It's a credit card or money order.
Oh my god.
Dude, and I'm saying like he could be in the front and we could be the side people.
Yeah, we could do it.
Follow you.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
He was just really pop. I guess that was just the first kind of like first of its kind, I guess, or not first of its kind because he's Richard Simmons to your point, but like it was like the new age version of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, a little bit more.
So
Maybe
I'm gonna
like
be the
geared
new age for
towards
Zumba.
maybe like slightly more masculine. You know what I mean? Because Richard Simmons was heavily marketed towards women. in particular fat
Well,
women
yeah,
in the
because the workouts
1980s.
he's doing are for like middle-aged women who are just like, I
Essentially.
want to feel like I'm working out, but it can't be too hard.
Yeah, but
Or it
going
has to
back
be
to
fun, I guess.
yeah, going back to what we were talking about earlier, I do
Zumba.
have a intense hatred of Peloton for no reason, because it's like you Peloton, whatever, you pay whatever
Peloton,
amount
I like
of money.
that. I'm gonna
You
say
pay
that.
a fucking subscription fee. Some guy on there is yelling. You know what you could also do? Go outside. You
I
can
know.
walk outside and run
Dude, I remember
and be in the sunshine and not pay $900 for a piece of shitty equipment that you use twice.
A friend of mine.
during COVID, he bought a Peloton, and around the same time, I was like, oh yeah, I bought an exercise bike too, and he was like, oh, the Peloton. I was like, no, I bought a $150 one on Amazon. It's the same thing. I just put an iPad on it. And then I was like, oh, I didn't mean to shit on your Peloton. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah, they're
okay.
stupid.
I will say though that some people
Need it.
don't have access to places to ride a bike safely.
Oh, that's true.
I feel like there's like a big convenience there.
You know what I'm saying is that I bought an exercise bike too. I just paid $150 for it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, that's probably like what somebody would say. Like, that's be their response. Like,
Oh,
but
yeah.
maybe we can. And it's like, shut up.
Yeah,
Well,
shut
Like,
up,
okay, but
bitch.
it also comes with like
Yeah.
many Instagram story posts of your Peloton.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
why did you really buy it?
Yeah.
To
No,
me,
it's just
if
off.
that's what, if you need that and you need the videos and you need like a leaderboard while you're fucking biking to work out, and that's the only way you'll work out consistently, then whatever.
Mm.
But it is
But,
stupid
like-
though that you have to like pay a subscription
Yeah,
fee to
it's a
like
subscription fee
use
too,
the
on top
That's
of
crazy.
buying like $1,000.
The only
piece
way
of
that would make
equipment.
sense is if they've subused the bike, but they don't.
No,
clearly.
no,
Dude,
they
I
don't.
feel
Obviously,
like,
they're
you know
making
what I
money
mean?
on the
like
bike.
something in like 2010 would have come with pre-programmed with like
for free.
500 workouts or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
and you pay
yeah.
$10 to get like
Yeah.
200 more. Or something.
No,
like
then
that,
you
some
get it, and
expansion
then I
pack.
hear people do get emotionally attached to the Peloton instructors because you can join. Their
Yeah, 'cause they're the
classes
same-
live.
they're the
It's
same
the
people.
people.
They don't know you.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah, but people get attached
are
to
so
YouTube
lonely,
personalities.
Shane. Yeah,
Yeah.
people need their parasocial relationship.
Yeah.
I understand that. I feel like I have lived a pretty lonely life at some points.
Oh.
But like, I don't think my response was ever like, I mean, it was, but
No.
then I feel like at a certain point, if you
Yeah.
just think critically enough, you're just like,
I mean,
all right,
yeah,
I don't know this person.
Yeah.
I got to find
Mm.
something else.
yeah,
And if I don't have it, I got to go get it.
yeah.
Straight
Like,
up,
I
yeah.
gotta
I'm-
get something to fucking
Yeah.
feel good
Yeah,
about.
I've gone
Yeah.
through bouts of loneliness as well, but I've never developed. an
Yeah,
intense
like
You know what I
you,
mean?
you
It's
have
just
enough
like-
self awareness to be like, no, like I remember,
These
yeah,
people aren't
having
real.
like times of loneliness and like maybe like catching myself maybe getting attached to like someone I would watch on YouTube and just remembering like this guy doesn't give a fuck about me.
Dude, I was teetering on the Jordan Peterson cliff.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
In
hell
2017.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
2017.
Shane,
I watched
Shane,
so
you
much
have
Jordan Peterson.
Shane, you must deny the pussy.
It's because I had like a.
What you need to do is you need to go clean your penis. You go into
So-
the bathroom.
so,
Now,
like-
Shane, that's not actually true in all cases.
Bucko, you need to go in there. Pull back the foreskin.
Shane, you're not lonely. You're me.
Dude, I remember that first episode when he was on Joe Rogan. That should change my life. I was,
Joe?
I
Wait, I haven't
was
even
like, man, I
seen
fucking
that.
hate communists. bro."
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. He was like
I
anti-communist.
know. I think, but I just
I
remember
love
him
that
talking
shit.
about like I was golfing and I was like, yeah, like peak like listening to Joe Rogan before he like got all wacko, and like it was this dude, and all of a sudden he was like, yeah, and like what's the difference between us and the tree? Like, are we the log? And I was like. Stupid.
Poor
That's
Jordan
so funny
Peterson.
that you remember exactly where it was.
Yeah.
Or you're just
He
like,
got,
okay, I'm getting off.
He got really destroyed by fame because he was like horrifically addicted to benzos for a
Yeah.
while,
Bro,
Yeah.
he's just another dude.
and then
who,
all he eats is meat.
he's just another dude who thinks he's smart because he's been like people have basically told him that through attention.
I think that
Yeah.
he was able to touch on something that a lot of people were yearning for. Some
Yeah.
sort of like validation or
Yeah.
something, like some sort of
Yeah.
like.
And then he got high on
framework
his own supply and
or
he got
something,
crazy,
right? But I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
a
and then I
little
feel like it's one of those things where I think like the conclusion that I reach is like this guy has the right message, but he's like the wrong person for it. Like the way that you frame it, the way that you're like going about it,
I'm not a good talker.
where you were instead of trying to be like, okay, yeah, it's pretty hard being a guy these days. Here's some ways you can like figure it out. It's like
Mhm.
it's hard being a guy these days, and it's everyone else's fault for it.
Yeah, straight up.
And you need to fight back against something actively instead of just going with the flow. When the fuck has digging in to like social change like that ever really worked out?
No, never once. Yeah, it really did encourage a very reactionary mindset.
Very actually very sort of like with like They lost it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like okay, this has been brought up several times now on this podcast, where it's like, okay, people are very lonely, people are very lacking in spirituality. They need something. I think what Jordan Peterson did was, it just kind of gave a voice to like a disgruntled male online presence.
Yeah.
And like kind of like took it away from like inceldom and put it into more like eloquent terms that, okay, you dig a little deep into it. Yeah, it's still stupid. But it just like, I think people just needed father figures. I think there's just a lot of lonely ass men.
There's just a lot of shitty dads in
Kyrie Irving.
our generation. Just had a lot of shitty dads.
Do you think Kyrie Irving has any father figures?
Isn't it crazy to think that?
Okay, wait, why? What's up with Kyrie Irving?
We watched this video the other day where a reporter asked Kyrie Irving if LeBron James is a good father figure to him, and it's really funny.
It was when he was on the same team as imagine somebody asking you like what parental role your teammate on your professional basketball team has played for you. If a media person with a camera in your face asks you that question,
and the best part is that's
exactly what he did.
The best part is he gives the reporter an out because he goes, oh, so I thought you asked me if
he asked her to clarify
LeBron was a good father figure, and she's like, yeah, that is what I asked, and then he went, I have one father. His name is, Michael blah 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 Irving.
Yeah, it's got to be humiliating. Plus, like, if I don't know anything about basketball really, but if you're on a team with someone and they're as like iconic as LeBron James and they're as like
but the
big
thing
as
is
he is, like being asked a question about him must be annoying.
Right.
Yeah.
Like having that's all everyone wants to talk about.
Yeah, I was like, well, what about me? And then plus, if you're a professional athlete, you're probably kind of a showboater and like just naturally and just a little bit full of yourself.
Yeah,
talking
about me. What about me?
Think about like
Irving.
this.
He hit the game-winning shot in the 2016 Game 7.
This. Maybe
good,
you're the
good for you, Kyrie.
Think about being the 15th best person in the world at something, and someone asks, "Is the number 1 best person in the world at it like a father to you?" Like, what the fuck? Like, bro, I'm also incredibly fucking good at this.
Yeah,
it's just like it's such an unprofessional question.
Yeah.
Think about that in any other professional context.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, okay,
he's your peer.
Yeah,
it's not like
sports
he's your coach. He's not like he's a coach or like a GM.
I'm sure
or
there's some people that have been waiting their entire life to be a sports journalist, but it also seems like it is the drip pan of the journalism world. Like if you couldn't make it in politics or war or anything important, you just like stumbled into like asking
because
Kyrie
you know who the
stupid
most
questions.
The most important reporters are war reporters.
Speaking of which, we had that message reinforced to us last night, didn't we?
Guys, what if there was a civil war today?
Oh my god!
So all these things that we were talking about, right? Jordan Peterson and et cetera, and all these like disgruntled men and all these societal forces that are making people feel a type of way. All I was thinking was like, gee, wouldn't that have been a really good explanation to why we would be in a civil war?
That could be
or
why.
some contributing factor.
That could be why. We don't know.
Maybe if you were making a story about a nation at war with itself, you could, use these sort of cultural touch points to help us understand why this boiled into overviolence.
Imagine the gall to just consider that when they then just said and say like, nah,
no,
just like no. Let's.
You know what we're gonna do? This is Alex Garland was just like, and folks, we're talking about the new hit film from A24, Civil War.
I saw it advertised today as a heart-stopping, pounding like thriller, and that should be illegal. That should be false advertising.
No, you need to take those people and line them up against the wall.
3-minute moments of the movie that are like that.
Yeah,
and the rest of it is garbage.
All right, so I guess we're getting into the review portion of our little podcast here. Before we dive into what we thought about the movie, we should probably talk about why we chose to watch Civil War.
Nathan wanted to watch it.
We were deceived by a trailer. No, it is a deceiving trailer.
That's you. I wanted to watch it.
Okay, one concept: the idea of any movie about American Civil War is at least worth a watch, right? I watched it because Alex Garland, he did Ex Machina, which is great, and then Annihilation, which is less great, and then a bunch of other shittier movies that I haven't seen.
And something that Aaron said to me on the way back was,
"Who's Aaron?"
Oh, Mark's girlfriend.
Oh yeah, Mark's girlfriend. Mark is our friend. He also saw the movie with us, and his girlfriend was there as well. And we were walking back to where we parked, and she was like, well, actually, the trailer, it didn't show like crazy parts. It seemed like pretty like grounded. And I was like, that's fair, I guess. In my mind, though, a movie about the Civil War today in America, I figured, that must just be from the first 20 minutes. It must get really crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you would think,
and
right? It would have to. No, it does not at all.
Okay, there's a helicopter like shooting someone with a rocket like 5 feet away at the end. But besides that,
yeah. So we also, take a minute there's that A24 logo in front of it. I think A24 has really captured our particular generation. I think there was a run, maybe 2015,
I think
2020.
I think what's happening.
They're in that phase now.
Yeah.
They're in the phase 4 of the MCU now.
They're
we're
in the
Ant-Man 3 phase
Yeah,
of A24.
Dude, it's funny how this always like Netflix originals used to be like oh, you know, this is good.
Oh yeah, but
Well,
now
like
When
the-
did anyone ever say that?
when they
garbage.
first started making stuff like
The
Netflix
fir- yeah, the first
originals,
couple-
they were
like,
all
dude,
really good.
House of
basically.
Cards. I remember watching House of Cards. As a
That's a
19-year-old
Netflix
feeling
show?
really
Yes,
sorry. Yeah.
like at the beginning when
It's a
they weren't
remake of
doing
a
a
British
ton,
show.
like when Stranger Things started, which was like a long time ago. It was all really good, and now it's like now I see Netflix and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna watch that. That sucks.
Trash.
Probably.
It's similar. It's a similar. It's just like if I see something's like a Netflix original, it's like seeing the Safeway Select brand
Exactly.
on like
So
a
that
piece
is
of
that
the
is that.
groceries.
So where's A24 then? Along
Well,
what
A24 is
brand
like-
is A24 right
A24
now?
is like you're walking into a Whole Foods and you're paying like $5 more for a steak than you should. But
It's when they're around the time Netflix released the Adam Sandler and the lady from Friends movie.
oh yeah, Blended or the one where does she go to Africa? They go
they're
to
on a
Africa, right?
vacation together, and then it's like they basically stop. Basically, when they start doing Adam Sandler movies,
Yeah.
that's where we are with
Okay.
A24.
A24 is entering its Adam
A24
Sandler.
just signed a 7-year deal with Adam Sandler.
Well, it's funny because there is an A24 movie with Adam Sandler.
Really?
It's Uncut Gems. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually
which is a banger.
That's a
Which is
great-
very,
that was
very
in
good.
their
It's a great movie.
heyday though.
Yeah, that was
2018. dude.
Yeah, that was a great
So
time.
when-
Midsummer, same year.
What was the
Midsummer,
run like?
yeah.
15 to 19.
Yeah, no, I saw The Witch in theaters and it blew me away.
2016
The
is the
Bitch?
witch.
2015.
20, so 15 to
The
19
Vivitch.
to 15 to 20.
20. We'll say
5
15 to 20.
years, yeah.
Where it was just like banger after banger.
Yeah,
like
every movie
post-COVID,
was
yeah.
at
Amazing.
least like pretty good.
I think they
Yeah.
restructured during COVID.
something had to have happened. I
well,
don't know.
it just happens, bro.
And it's also okay.
You
Like
know?
we're also talking about it, like a studio. This like we're talking about them in a way that we don't even talk about any other studios. Like, could we even have this conversation about like Newmark Cinema or whatever? Or
well,
like,
yeah, this is exactly why. Because like when you're smaller, what they're known for is just having really good taste
New
and sort
Line
of like
Cinema, sorry.
what they green light, who they bring on board, like
Mhm.
they're whatever they do to like scout these types of like projects was done very like intentionally.
Yeah.
And I think as you get old, like bigger and larger, it just sort of like that vision gets lost, just sort of like in the shuffle, and like you're not really measured on that anymore. It's
Yeah.
more just like how much money does this make, right? So then
Mhm.
instead of having these movies like The Witch that are like crazy provocative, like just like
Yeah.
crazy, like you never see anything like that before. You're like, holy
yeah,
shit,
no,
like what
which
the
fucking
fuck?
slices open a baby in
Or
that
even
movie.
like something like It Follows, right? That's an A24 movie.
oh yeah,
right?
that's
And,
I
like,
think that's one of their first ones.
It's
Yeah,
a very
that's really old.
straightforward traditional horror movie, but there's just a style
really
to it
well.
that's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
fuck, that movie's cool. Like
it really is.
it's
yeah.
such a stupid concept.
Yeah,
But like
it
I
is
just think
very
that gets like sort of that gets like
Movie.
it's not really about that anymore. It's about like making more money. right?
Yeah,
Being
you
a
get to the
bigger
point
box
where
office draw
you
now.
just have to get bigger and bigger, and I think that's where we're at with Civil War because Civil War looked like it had a much larger budget.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna get into how much we
Yeah.
all hated it. I'm
It was
pretty sure we all hated
advertised
it.
as a
Let's talk
big-
about okay, what do we like about
That's
it?
what I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
say.
we
I
should
want
start
to
there.
say, what is everyone's favorite scene?
Okay,
Or,
so
or aspect of the movie.
what
I
what I
feel
liked
yeah.
about it
Yeah.
is one, it's very beautiful. We watched it
Yeah.
on the Dolby screen, which I
Yeah.
think was a good choice.
The sound, I think, was more important though.
Yeah, sound
my
design. Yeah, I think so you're following these three journalists. They're the most boring people on the planet. I don't care about either one of them or their backstories. We
Wait,
don't know
we're talking about the
anything them.
good still.
I know, but I'm going to use this to illustrate a good point. So there's this boring fucking conversation where this perverted man is talking to this 23-year-old, and then they stop talking, and then snap cut. It goes straight to this intense scene of gunfighting without any break, and it wakes you up from this coma because again, you are not really caring because nothing on screen is interesting up until that point. So some editing choices, the sound, there's some interesting, compelling images.
Wait,
like-
so you liked when they cut to really loud gunshots?
well, I mean, it
I
was
hated that.
It's very lazy.
yeah,
it was lazy, but at least it was something. And I liked again the sound design. It at least illustrated how cool the sound is.
So like you were saying, you're saying the sound. Everyone, I feel like everyone agrees in
Sound
agreement. Like
was good, and
I
also,
thought it was very good.
yeah.
Yeah, the sound was
it's
good.
Weird, it's just weird
Some
because
interesting visuals.
the whole movie, like shot, sound, all that stuff. It's like if this was a good plot and what you were doing on screen was good, it would be like great.
Yeah, man, we're going right into what we hate.
We gotta keep it positive.
Let's start positive.
Well, okay, my favorite scene is the one with Todd from Breaking Bad. I don't know his name.
Oh yeah,
that's Todd. I knew it.
Yeah,
wow.
His name is
he's really good at
Jesse Plemons.
I'm not gonna spoil. I feel like we shouldn't spoil any. I mean, whatever.
But no, if you're listening to this, don't watch this movie. We're gonna spoil it.
We're
gonna spoil it. Okay.
No, okay, maybe not yet.
You can just dance around stuff. But basically, it's just like a really tense scene that would happen in a civil war between like
it's a scene in the trailer.
Basically.
That's a trailer.
Oh, yeah, it's in the trailer. He is wearing the pink glasses, and they're like, we're pressed, and they're like, who are you? And it's really tense for 5 minutes. And if the whole movie was that, I would have like fucking came in my pants.
You thought that was tense?
I did not think that was tense at all.
No,
I didn't even enjoy that scene.
What I was thinking though is like, what answer would be the wrong answer? Why are they in danger? Like, why would they be in danger by answering his questions honestly? I didn't know when he was asking where they're from, right?
So actually, what I liked about
but did you know?
No, I didn't.
So like, I don't know why it's tense if I don't know. So why like where the danger is necessarily?
Well, in general,
it's like he's killing people, but like why?
Yeah, which goes back to Shane hilariously saying several times during the movie, like, why are they fighting?
Yeah, because like in movies like Lord of the Rings and shit, like when they have those close calls, it's scary because you know that they're chasing them because of what they're trying to do and they're trying to thwart them. That's tense. That's like tension there, but not like when it's like some guy just asking.
So I'm not saying that like that's,
where are you from? Yeah, I mean,
it's annoying. You don't know anything. Obviously, the movie doesn't tell you anything, which is like part of the mystique, but it's just stupid. But I mean, they could have gone about it without doing that, but I thought it made the scene better because the whole point is like they don't know what side he's on. That's like tension. So it's like they don't themselves even know what the right answer is.
I get the tension.
So that was cool.
But you still don't know like what answer, right? Like, what they were like.
You don't even know the possible
how their answer will distinguish his options of who they could be.
Yeah, I'm basically saying like you don't have to do it like that. You could have just told us and then not.
I'm gonna ask a question to you guys.
Yeah.
How many sides were there in this movie? How many sides do you think there were, Jacob? So how many different sides are fighting in this conflict?
Something about it tells me there's more than 2, but I don't know because they call it Western Forces.
Going by the text of the movie, there is the Texas-California Alliance, and then there is the U.S.
Okay, guess what, guys?
What?
Did you look it up or something?
Yes.
How many sides are there?
There are, in this movie, in this version of the United States, the country is divided into 4 different sections.
What?
There's the Loyalist states, which is like the Midwest and the Northeast. The Florida Alliance, which is essentially the Southeast Conference.
The Southeast Conference.
The Western Forces, which is California and Texas for some reason that we're never made aware of. Mm-hmm. And then there's the New People's Army, which is the Pacific Northwest and like North Dakota and shit. And
so
like
who's
Minnesota.
On
That's pretty cool.
Side?
Right. So it's cool. But it would be cool if we knew that was going on in the movie and why they would be different from one another.
I legitimately thought there might have just been 2. Okay. I watched the movie 2 days ago.
You
never told who's it. See, here's the problem. Okay, I think all 3 of us, we're all big movie people. We watch a lot of movies. I am fine with ambiguity. If you plopped us into this world and you didn't explain what was going on, that's fine. As a director, I think that's a completely valid artistic choice. But you need to root this with characters that we care about and are interesting.
Yeah.
The problem with setting this in such an ambiguous world is you decided to have your point of view characters be the least interesting, least compelling, most white milk toast motherfuckers on the planet.
Yeah.
They have nothing interesting to say.
Yeah, if they fall
Kirsten Dunst is one. Kirsten, you're looking rough. Maybe it's, I don't know what's going on.
They didn't do her any favor with some of those shots, though. Jesus Christ.
Half the movie is just elongated shots of her looking more haggard than I've ever seen her.
It's like Kirsten Dunst got upset about everyone talking about like looks in Hollywood, and she's like, check this out. I'm going to look ugly as fuck.
But hey, those knockers of hers, they had to like strap those down. The whole time she's running around in the movie, they're like bouncing outside of her shirt, which I found a little distracting. But okay, you set the movie with her and her companion, and then this 23-year-old girl. They have the most boring conversations. You don't care.
At one point, they say, "Oh, she doesn't believe in the power of."
Are we still talking about the good parts?
Oh no, we've kind of veered on towards
What was your
why we
favorite
hate it.
scene?
Oh man, I don't think I had one.
No.
Okay, I honestly, which scenes do I remember? I'll say the sniper scene was cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was great. That was great.
I have a
That was
note,
cool. Nathan
yeah.
had a good point on that, where it was
They
like,
followed those two guys around.
like it is cool from their perspective, like how blunt they were about the situation.
Yeah.
Where they were just saying, so like the main characters come up on these two snipers. They have a standoff with these other guys who we don't know. We don't know who's the other on the other side, but at least in this scene, it's played for as like, it's like a cool thing. It's like part of the effect where they ask him, who is that? And it's like a guy with a gun who's shooting at us.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean you fuck?
What else do you need
like,
to know about the
yeah.
situation?
He's shooting at us. We have to shoot at him.
Yeah.
So that's like a good way of us not knowing, right? Like to your
Yeah.
point, where it's like, okay, cool, yeah, it is pretty senseless what's going on here, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
you have no idea who that is or why it is. That's cool. But then like that's cool when it operates within a general understanding of what's going
exactly.
on. Though.
Like that would have hit so much harder if it's like, okay, we are through some way. By the way, it's funny we know nothing about this world, and our point of view characters are journalists. Like, isn't your whole job to explain something that's going on?
No, they just take pictures of like dead people.
They really botched the potential for them to have covered different events in the past,
Yeah,
and use that as like a vehicle to like give you expository dialogue, right?
Nothing.
Like
They got
talking
none
about
of
other
that.
things that you were involved with or that you've seen that led to these like this situation. But instead they just spew like fucking Silent Hill dialogue.
Yeah.
Dude. It was so awkward at times.
or like at any point actually show the value of what they're doing.
Especially the
Yeah.
fucking old man.
Yeah. Also, it makes journalists look like the most selfish like assholes on the planet because the only reason they want to get to the president, it's not for any ideological reasons. They just want the story.
It's like they're so like
It's
like
ethical
savage
Nightcrawler.
about it. It's
Basically,
like
Yeah,
it's
they're-
Nightcrawler the movie. If all the heroes, they're all heroes for taking.
it's so
pictures
like
of dead bodies.
hedonistic in a weird
Yeah.
way. Like they get like a satisfaction from it. Like, oh, I'm gonna get that. And it's like, okay, what are you gonna ask him? What do you want to know from him?
We don't care. Even if he did have a question that he was very dead set on
Yeah,
asking, we
like-
wouldn't care because we don't know anything about
What
it.
is the
Also-
tension of the
also-
knowledge that you're gonna acquire from this interview?
And at the end, it had all of our heroes.
That's your
and
motivation. You
like,
want buy for
are we
this?
supposed to like them? Because at the end, like
That's a
any
good
sort of
question.
like ethical, like, oh, we
No.
do this so that people see the horrors of war, is taken away because they're literally all like, guys, you want to get the shot? I want to get the
They're
shot.
all
Okay,
I want to
I
get the
thought
shot.
about this more though. I thought about this more.
Mm.
I think so. In the beginning, right? It's like the younger woman is like she's a lot more easily shaken by what's going on. Kirsten Dunst is a lot more steadfast, and she's like, you have to learn how to be this stoic, right? If you're gonna do this.
Mhm.
I think throughout the movie, this is being pretty generous, maybe a little generous, but she sees her seeing how the younger woman is reacting kind of reminds her of like the severity of the situation, right?
Yeah.
So they end up kind of switching
yeah.
places where it's like
oh yeah.
like the
Well,
younger
I
woman
said that to
becomes
Mark
more
at
like
the end,
like into what's going on, and Kirsten Dunst becomes more disillusioned by
Yeah.
with it,
Mhm.
right? Which is like cool. That's sort of an interesting
If they
story.
showed that in a more subtle way, it felt like it happened like on a dime.
Yeah, I actually was very confused at the end.
Yeah.
We're in Washington D.C.
All of a sudden, she's panic attack.
Then she just starts panicking. Yeah, like she's in the middle of a war zone, which she has been in multiple times. For some reason, she just starts losing it. We don't know why. There's not even a like. I guess she saw someone get lit on fire.
Like,
Like,
what would have been cool is if the kid like slowly got more into it, and she was she was like, something along the lines
If
of
you-
like,
yeah,
having some
so
sort of journey
so
to
one
that.
example, right, that I kept pointing to and I'll keep pointing to is that you can have a journalist be the protagonist of a war movie and still have developed characters and a developed world and an understanding of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And in that movie's Full Metal Jacket. I know everyone like usually
Yeah.
focuses on the boot camp part in the beginning, but after that, it becomes a movie about a journalist. You know, he's
Yeah.
like in the military still. It's a little different. He's actually in like one of the sides, but the whole thing about like being objective and having to like document what's going on and stuff and being conflicted about it and shit, and how like senseless and violent these things can be, and like his like descent into that, right? Like by the end of
Yeah.
the movie, like it's like they leave and the building's on fire, and it's just like they're singing this Mickey Mouse song in this really morbid way. So I feel like there's like a good way to do that because you just know what's going on though. You just have to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like what's
in
going
Full Metal Jacket,
on.
you have the historical context of like we know Vietnam. We understand like how terrible it was. We understand.
Yeah, luckily,
it was a stupid
luckily
war.
that's like a crutch, right, in a way. But like
Yeah.
at least, but you still like there's still that responsibility. How you get there is like up to you. But you have the responsibility to define it. That's why it's a big deal in Full Metal Jacket when they finally take down the sniper and they realize it's just some woman.
It's a little girl. It's like a
it's just like
girl.
it's like you understand like you have a certain perspective of Vietnam and like what they're about from one perspective, and then you switch it and it's like oh crazy, but you know what the sides are, and you don't know what the sides are in this stupid
see okay, like I'll pat myself on the back because like when we met at your apartment before we went to the movie, I told you I feel like this is going to be shitty. It's not going to be a good movie because the director has no point of view. He is not ideological whatsoever.
He's not American.
He's not American on top of that, too.
I know that sounds so like...
No. Okay, look. If you are going to make a movie about America descending into a civil war, you have to come at it from a certain perspective for it to be interesting. You have to be on one side or the other. I would want to see a movie where some psychopath like MAGA person has a vision where one half of the country just like secedes.
That would actually be pretty sick.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Or maybe like some like reactionary makes a movie about like a neoliberal dictatorship that takes over that's like DEI influenced and that like forces people to like take hormones and become trans. I don't know. Like something
you're talking like dystopia though.
No, but that's the thing. That's like if you're gonna make a movie about people going to war, like I want it from an ideological perspective because that's the only way you're gonna say anything.
But can you really have a war movie though that leans one way and have it be effective? I feel like the whole idea, the thesis of war is and always will be that it's senseless.
Yeah.
So you can't make a war movie responsibly and be like
no, but I
want it from anything other than this is all just ridiculous nonsense.
At least someone's like
I see what you're saying, but like that's how you need two perspectives though.
No, the worst part though,
you need two. You need to know both of the perspectives, right? It's a civil war, like why is this guy?
You can make a movie about like I at least want like the inciting incident to have come from one ideological side or the other, but then you can make a movie within that world on both sides, like why they're fighting. But it's just like when it's just no backstory at all, and we're just plopped into this world where we don't know why people are fighting, and there's no ideological perspective being put onto the screen, and it's just like senseless combat. Like I just didn't care.
What upsets me the most about the movie is it's such a wasted premise.
Yeah.
Like when I heard about the premise at first, I was like, "Oh, that's of course they would do that." And then we saw the movie, and like you saw that it had potential for sure as like a cool movie, like for the premise.
It looked cool, but it just got boring. Like it gets boring after a while.
Yeah, that's what they just wasted. Because now I feel like, I mean, obviously someone could, but I feel like someone else can't be like, now it's my Civil War movie. I feel like that premise is done.
I saw this video that said that the most interesting character was the truck.
Wait, that was a cool truck. When the sniper was like
the truck's reliable, it's rugged.
Yeah, when the guy
violent, it's versatile.
When the guy's spotting for the sniper went, huh? That's why it's written on the side of the truck.
You're pressed. Yeah,
like we're pressed.
See, like some humor. They were witty. They're funny.
Yeah,
they're funny about their situation.
Dude, it would have been so great if the rest of the movie just followed.
I feel like that movie was very tonally sort of dissonant too.
Yeah,
and that's the thing is like I feel like if you try to put too many, if you basically just assume that things are sad and tense, and just try to like add too many moments of levity. But like the moments that are tense aren't convincing, you just end up with a movie that just feels weird. Like, is this serious or not? Like, are you guys in danger or not?
Dude, for sure.
You're switching cars and shit, driving out here, like while you're driving closer to the danger.
Yeah.
Those two characters.
When those two characters come out of nowhere and jump in, like, you know what I mean? They try.
And then like it doesn't see that. That's why I didn't give a shit about that scene because like they like spoilers. Those two random people that show up.
These two guys. One of them's from Hong Kong. I don't know where the other one's from, but like the last third of the movie, they sort of just show up randomly while the main characters are driving, and they say, "Hey guys, what's up?" And one of them, being cheeky, while they're driving, you know, it's supposed to be this wacky moment where like, oh, they're still having fun amidst the chaos, blah, blah. One of them fucking jumps from his car into the other car. And then the young girl does the same. And then that's when that car takes off and veers off into what's that guy's name from Breaking Bad?
Todd from Breaking
Todd
Bad.
from Breaking Bad into his meat grinder.
And as a
basically.
viewer, you're like, is he running away? He's like an older dude runs away with a girl. So you're like,
are you guys
I
taking this seriously?
I assumed he was going to rape her.
Are they taking this seriously or not?
And that was how they got to the whole Todd situation. But I think we said this after the movie was like, they just contrived that whole thing when there was no need to. There's a civil war going on.
You know, a movie
something like this can happen without it being contrived.
Which part? Wait, what do you mean?
Where like they got into the Todd situation because they
this fucking
ran off.
Looney
It's like you didn't need to do
Tunes.
that.
Yeah.
They could have just stopped you on the road.
There's like Looney Tunes.
Like why? Yeah, exactly. Like oh no, because we did the car switch thing, they got caught. It's like no, they could have just gotten caught.
Yeah,
they could have just gotten caught. They could have went to a checkpoint.
No, that scene did nothing because it's involving characters we don't care about.
They could have been betrayed by somebody at a diner. You know what I'm saying?
Anything.
The diner owner could have sold them out.
The Todd scene didn't work for me personally.
Not real, not me either.
None of the movies worked.
For 5 minutes, I forgot about all the horrible parts, and I was like, this
because it's like, okay, this movie's
cool.
so dumb and straightforward. There's no way these two main characters are gonna die.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that.
Or this main character, at least. You know those two fools. You know the Asians are out of there.
Yeah.
They check the box of being in the movie.
Cheap. They show up for 5 minutes.
Hey,
and then they get
A24 is down with Asian representation, which I am obviously, and is
real quick,
apparent again in this movie.
So is this podcast. We need to stop Asian hate.
That scene though, for me, the reason it worked was because it was the first time in the movie that it seemed like the war was very real.
Yeah,
it was like
there was like actual danger.
It was contrast to them being like,
danger.
They were actually
in real
danger. Where you're like, oh, my fellow like citizen is now trying to kill me.
And you know,
like that's the first time you saw that. Up close
you know
and
what that
personal.
made me think of? What you're talking about?
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about this in the movie theater. You know that movie? Have you seen Children of Men?
Yeah, of course.
2006.
Classic.
That movie
Babies.
is that moment. Over and over and over again. All these close calls, just over and over again. You're like, dude, they are in danger. This whole time.
Exactly.
The whole time. You know what I'm saying?
It's really
and it's like,
scary,
and you know why. Right?
Dude.
They have the baby. Everybody wants the baby. Easy. Everybody wants it for their own selfish reasons, right? So they can't really trust anyone. Even people who say they want to help them out, they keep learning that they don't, right? So you know why. It'd be nice to know why these people would be in danger.
Although
if you're in this part of the country, okay, like, well, you know what I'm saying? Just like what?
Do you think they think that they're like kind of
who is Todd's character?
So
it would have been cool if we saw him earlier doing something else to someone else, right? And then he comes around again. You're like, holy shit, we gotta be afraid of this guy.
Here's an idea. The characters that we're following, who are journalists. One of them has written a story about this crazy dude in the middle of the country who's gone rogue and who's doing some crazy shit, who might be slaughtering civilians, and then we run into him.
They say newspaper clipping or something.
Wait, hold on. But I'm gonna try to give the movie the benefit of the doubt, like you did earlier. So like maybe it's because usually the wars on American soil, and they've been like following them all over the place, and usually they're like super like relative. Basically, they feel invincible because they do this all the time. And then basically it's like, this is a moment where it comes home, you know, and now they're actually in trouble because it's civil war. And it's on
like kind of like we were talking about where it was, I felt like, but the thing is like, if you don't know why they would be in danger while they're driving.
Yeah.
Like that's why it's totally dissonant. Cause it's like totally chill. And then they're just randomly in danger now. But if they knew, hey, like we're in this part of the country where like there's been, I've heard
Todd from Breaking Bad, who is running a like genocidal militia, is going crazy.
The silly scene is sandwiched between oh shit, we might be under attack, and oh shit, we are under attack.
Or they see someone's fucking car like fucked up, you know, and there's like body parts and shit laying around. They're like, holy fuck. And they see a license plate that's the same fucking state that they're from, wherever it was, New York, and they're like, holy shit. Now we're in danger.
Like, well, switching the windows.
Fucking tells you about to make their own goddamn movie.
Switching the windows happens right after they're like.
Is there nobody? See, this is exactly what we're saying with like music artists too, where I feel like A24 at one point you start just drinking your own Kool-Aid, bro.
Yeah.
Like there's like there ain't shit wrong with this movie. This is fucking tight.
What do you mean?
They're like, and then they're gonna love this one.
You're like, but there's no sides. It's a very objective war movie. That's the point.
Oh god, yeah. See, that's the thing. Every time I had these thoughts, I'm like, I could already predict. Like the annoying Twitter response being like, oh, well, of course it was ambiguous. Like it's war.
Somebody was saying like, it's just scary to see what would happen if we were at conflict. And it's like, not really, if we don't know why.
Yeah, no. Then it's literal. It's kind of like gross because one thing I did get out of it was like, okay, maybe Alex Garland is trying to say, hey, look, there's a lot of conflict going on in the world right now. There's these same images being replicated in the US that you would see, you know, in Gaza or in the Ukraine, where people are huddled, people are running away, people are in refugee camps. I get it. So I'll give him that. Like, maybe he was just trying to be like, okay, what if that did happen in the US? But then it was such a surface level movie that it's just like even that question wasn't really answered in a thorough way. It wasn't even really shown.
You can't really like picture yourself in their situation.
That's what I'm
You can't, because you don't know why the fuck they're fighting.
That's
You
what I'm
don't
saying.
know what is happening.
Why they're
Like,
fighting.
why
It's
would
literally
you-
just masturbatory. It's just like, yeah, well, what if this happened in your own backyard?
Even if
and
you
it's
didn't
like, whoa,
know-
Alex Garland, wow.
Sure.
Even
Yeah,
if you
that's
don't
true.
know
Yeah.
why they're fighting,
It seems like it's so sinful.
if everything
Yeah,
was
yeah.
exactly the
It's
same,
so crazy, man. It's so people are like
just make it from the perspective.
we really are
of
this,
a
like,
regular
culture of
civilian.
sinners now. It's
Yeah.
just, Jesus Christ.
Like, why
huh?
is it in the perspective of a reporter?
That's
we,
the thing.
Like, I can't
Well, it's
relate
'cause
to that.
I feel like it was a cheap way to just keep it to not have to take a side, to your point, or
Yeah,
not to
exactly.
define a side, really. Just like
Yeah.
they're neutral, you
Yeah.
know.
But
It's like we need like a pH 7 balance on this fucking movie.
yeah.
But yeah, like I want to see the
fucking
perspective.
chemistry reference.
Well,
Goddamn.
yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like the whole part about it coming home. Like, oh, now it's on our soil. The interesting part is being a regular person while war's going on around you.
Or like,
'Cause
why would it be?
For me, like, I can't even like picture that. Like, thinking about like how people were just like living life and then World War II happened like on their soil. That's fucking insane.
Well, it's because like they
Yeah.
also, one thing that kind of bothered me is like none of these like armed conflicts take place anywhere recognizable. You know what I mean? They couldn't even do that.
Exactly.
They couldn't even like have like a war and like, or like some sort of battle or shootout in like downtown Chicago.
in New York.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well,
Like
no,
a
I mean,
war torn Chicago.
It
or
ends in
something.
Washington D.C., but that's the only recognized.
Well, that doesn't even count though, because that's like
Who
that's
gives a
like,
fuck?
That's like the base, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like,
It's like
like
the
what do you
base
have to
of
do? Show
war.
the White House? Like,
The closest they got was like some sort of like riot in New York where someone did a terrorist attack, but there wasn't actually military combat. You're right.
wait, was
Yeah.
there so what monuments or whatever from DC were shown?
I think
Oh, the Washington D.C.
Monument-
Oh,
Like
really?
they blow up the Lincoln Monument.
They do?
Yeah, they do.
Damn, I don't remember shit
I
from
don't
that.
remember that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they didn't blow it up completely, but it made me think of like there's this really terrible movie about the White House falling. What do you guys remember what it is?
White House Falls.
Yeah, White House Fall with Jamie Foxx as the
White
president.
House Down.
White House Down or something like that.
I just
What?
made that up.
Oh,
No,
it's just like-
that's Black
No,
Hawk.
no,
It's
no.
a sequel to Black Hawk
No, I
Down.
think that might be it.
It's a sequel to Black Hawk Down. White House Down.
White House
Olympus
fell
has
down.
fallen.
Oh no.
Olympus is
That's
falling.
the name of the movie. Oh no.
It's with Jamie Foxx,
Oh,
and
no,
it's just
White House
like
fell
it's
down.
the same guy who directed Independence Day.
Yeah, I know.
So it was literally just like, wouldn't it be sick if like the White House fell and there was like a terrorist attack there, like as a set piece for a stupid movie? I have more respect for that
Yeah.
than I did for this
For
fake
sure.
art house bullshit.
Yeah,
Because
bring
I
it
think-
home,
what it
because
is.
at least you know what that movie is. That
Exactly.
movie is literally
Okay.
it's like disaster porn, but like what if the,
so here's
the
something.
White House
Here's
was
what I
blown
just
up
thought of,
by
though. Do you-
Russians or whatever?
What's his fucking director's name again?
Alex Garland.
Do you think though that like that's kind of on them too? Again, A24 slipping up, bro. Bring this motherfucker in for like didn't really think it through. He probably doesn't really want to like cross the line either, though.
Yeah.
He's not American.
No, because see that's
You know what I mean?
That's
So
what
I feel like he
mean.
doesn't want to like they put him in a bad spot because you really can't say anything without people being like, "Well, who the fuck are you?"
Yeah, but that's what
motherfucker?"
that's what I was trying to. The
That
point I
would-
was trying to make earlier.
Yeah.
You can't make a movie with like this and it be good without a provocative opinion, without like
with an American director, though.
yeah,
just to
an
like
American
just to show yourself
who's
from the PR.
willing to be provocative. That's what I'm saying. Pick a side. Say something is happening from a perspective. Like do something, but
Yeah,
instead
they
it's
should have
just
gotten like a liberal and then Jordan Peterson to direct.
This just in, I think I've become a nationalist. They should have hired a American director for this movie.
Yeah,
but for real
no.
though, like
no liberal
Yeah.
and then
anyone else, you're
conservative.
putting them in a tough spot because like no matter what they say, there's gonna be people who are gonna say like who are just xenophobic and be like, well, fuck you, bro. Like fuck your
Yeah.
movie.
okay. So like some
But like, but I'm not saying. But you're right. I just think they should have just hired a different director
yeah, it's just a
who's
bad
American.
director. Yeah,
Just hire
bad
someone
choice.
who's
for
That would
director.
be a better.
Bad choice for the actors
know,
too. Why the fuck do we have the 200-pound old black dude from Dune in there?
Who's that? That guy's in everything now,
Dude,
right?
he's
Isn't he in
fat.
fucking like Star Wars?
He's the new Mel Gibson.
No, he was in
like,
Dune, but
He's
only
not in
the
Star
first
Wars?
one. I don't know.
I just. Oh yeah. I guess I just pictured him wearing black.
I just know
like
that
the
he really
Empire.
likes to pontificate.
Yeah, he's like that.
Dude,
is
that, his
also
dialogue was terrible.
that's also another cheap trope, like the old wise black man.
He's fat.
You
Mel
forgot
Gibson,
about
not
the
Mel
power
Gibson.
of journalism.
Fat, what's the guy?
He was very fat.
with freckles.
Wait, what?
Another black guy.
He goes down at there saving
Morgan
them.
Freeman,
Hey,
yeah.
but see, that's the thing though. But I
Fat
feel like
Mel
okay,
Gibson.
at least that, like, that's one of the few things in the movie that makes sense, right? Where the curmudgeonly, like, old guy who's like more experienced and cautious is like, I'm not fucking going over there.
Yeah,
right.
That part was cool.
Saves the day essentially, right? Because it shows that
they all
he's just
would've
like,
died.
you guys are fucking idiots,
Yeah.
bro. The fact that wasn't your, and you, I think you, Jacob, you leaned to me and you're just like, or you lean over, you're like, why wasn't that the first option?
Yeah,
Like, why
like,
didn't you just do that immediately?
2 minutes ago? Like, bro, he's shooting them. Why didn't you do that? Like, oh yeah. Why didn't you just drive up and hit him?
Well, because they're journalists, right? They're not active
But even
participants,
then,
right?
yeah, but you're right. Like, he took way too long to do it.
I mean, yeah. Well, okay. Well, he
It
had a
was
cane.
all-
He was waddling over to the car.
Yo, speaking of like you said though,
you're
Nathan,
right,
that's
yeah.
again, that's to refer to a much better movie in Full Metal Jacket when the protagonist confronts a sniper. He falls apart. He like blows it, and somebody else has to save him.
Yeah.
So there's even a better way to do that.
Jesus
Like you
Christ,
said,
Alex,
yeah,
come
exactly to your point. Like, oh, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. They're journalists. They're not battle tested. Of course, situation they would fumble. Wouldn't it be cool if they showed that?
No, dude, they say. And I hate aggrandizing journalism. I
Man,
think
Full Metal Jacket is a great movie.
it is a
Gotta
great
say.
movie. I want to rewatch.
You know what
that.
else I was thinking too about like a descent like this? It could have been like fucking. Have you guys seen Apocalypse Now?
Yeah, dude, of course.
Dude, I think that's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, dude, of course.
I actually don't
Well,
think I
okay,
know
so
that.
it's funny too because like I didn't expect this going into the movie, but it is also on top of being like a quote unquote war movie. It's actually more of like a road trip movie.
Yeah.
it's like Euro trip.
It's like
just-
Zombieland.
Yeah, they just go from spot to spot and have
Rule number
various
one.
adventures with people that you don't care about.
But at least when
But
like
again, the
What
only
war
way
is-
the
what
only
war is
way a
that?
road trip movie works is if you like care about the dynamic of the group. Have you ever seen like Y Tu Mama También?
no.
Yeah, so it's about these two whatever, but it's a good road trip movie
Yeah.
and you care about
Right.
like the characters.
Little Miss
you care-
Sunshine.
Wait,
Little Miss perfect, the fucking
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
what war is Apocalypse Now about?
Vietnam.
Vietnam.
It feels like a road trip movie. That's hilarious.
No, but yeah, back to the road trip thing. It was like I think some of
This was a road trip movie, huh?
I just
Yeah,
think
it was
the
a road
dialogue
trip.
was so bad that like oh man.
yeah,
like,
the road trip movie.
some
Like,
of the delivery on these lines was just awful. Like
Road
just
trip movies only
putrid.
work if you care about the characters.
jokes were
War
not
movies
funny.
only work if you understand
Like,
why the two sides
Dude,
are
they
fighting.
spoke like video. Like he's like, I'm just a wise old man now. I
Yeah.
don't really get up too much
Yeah.
these days. So what about you, huh? What are you looking for in DC?
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like, dude, what the fuck is
Dude,
this?
the road trip
no
part
one
of
talks
this,
like this.
the road trip part of this movie was just like it's
Do
late.
they
it
talk like
was-
that in Britain? Is that why?
Yeah,
in
dude, I have
in
no
England?
Dude, it was just like so control because like basically I just thought it was lazy because the whole movie up until DC you could put it in basically any order like in the middle and you couldn't really
Oh,
tell any
good
progress
point.
so that's why they had to be like now we're 300 miles away now we're
Oh,
200
yeah, you're
away
right,
You could have
yeah.
just scrambled it.
you could have
up,
scrambled the
huh?
whole
Yeah.
middle
They
or
had
you
those
would
title
have
cards, right? Where it's
Yeah.
like 800
but they're like
miles
how do we
away.
show progress because we're not making any in the plot
Yeah.
Whoa.
or like character
That kind of
development or
reminds me of Oppenheimer.
anything. Yeah, dude, you're right.
Another movie I refuse to see.
What would they do there?
You haven't seen it?
Would it be like
I just
X
refuse
days
to
to
at
a
this
Dude,
countdown?
I really want. You should watch it. We should talk about it.
Wait,
Watch
what was-
and talk about
Watch it, please. I mean, it's too,
maybe
people
for
are gonna be like,
content.
"Oh, you didn't watch it in IMAX." It's. I think it's fine.
Yeah, that was the thing.
That movie
So-
sucks.
Couple, yeah, dude.
It's not 3
Controversial
hours,
opinion
Jay.
time.
2
Okay,
hours I would've
some
watched it.
some little sprinklings of notes that I wrote. The funniest moment in the entire movie. They show a J.C. Penney's that's been blown
Oh,
up,
yeah.
and then all three of us made the exact same joke at the same time. Like they didn't even have to CGI this; they just showed up to a
film this scene. They
JCPenney's.
just drove up to a modern day JC Penney's and did nothing else to the aesthetic.
No, it was
Filmed
going by.
outside. They didn't need to clear the parking lot. they didn't need to close the space down or anything. They just
They didn't need any permits.
They're like, we're just gonna film right here.
and then we were
If someone
like,
walks through the shot. Oh well.
Yeah,
It
no,
just
we're
didn't
fine.
happen.
and then we were like, JC Penney had to approve this, right? Why did they approve this?
Hey, you know what?
They'll take what they can
times
get
are rough.
these
They
days.
gotta
Oh,
pay
true,
out
true, yeah.
investors.
You're like,
JC
any
Penney's
publicity is
got-
good
Dude,
publicity.
JC Penney is below Macy's.
It's below me, and they can't.
It
get
would
much
honestly
lower than
take a
Macy's.
civil war for JC Penney's to have the like opportunity to come back. Basically, they would need like more to wipe out all the competitors.
Yeah,
They're like, at least the
basically.
logo's still standing.
It's like, well, it turns out
There you go.
JCPenney was founded in the winning sides like area.
I don't see any
of the
closed
United
down.
States.
I
That's
don't
the
see
only
any
way.
closed down Sears buildings because they closed before the world ended.
It's true. Yeah.
So maybe JCPenney was the
JCPenney's
last one.
holding out. Dude, JCPenney is
They're
going
the
to
last one
cause civil
standing.
war just to survive.
No, they're
Oh,
the
they
last
could.
one standing.
Yeah.
That's what they were trying to get across.
JCPenney's, yeah. Even after everything.
What
goes
about
down,
Yonkers
you
and
can still
Dillard's,
get
though?
Levi's for
What
10%
the fuck
off.
is Yonkers?
Well, it's also goes by.
What's
goes,
Dillard's?
It also goes by Dillard's. It's one of those stores that has two names
That's
for no
not
reason.
dude. Me and Shane are West Coast people. We don't know that.
What are
might be
other
a-
stores? TJ Maxx and
TJ Maxx, yes, I know.
and then like Home Goods. No, not Home. There's like two like.
Did
like-
you have Kroger where you're from?
No, it's a fucking grocery store.
Do you don't have that?
No, we had Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee is rules
What
the
the fuck
Midwest.
is Hy-Vee?
Minus Texas.
Sounds like shitty. To
Yeah.
me.
Hy-Vee is that their thing goes Hy-Vee where there's a helpful smile
I would.
in every aisle, and then my dad would always go down the aisle and be like,
You always go
I'll
down the
see you in
smile
the
aisle.
aisle.
You go down the smile aisle.
He goes down the smile.
Dad
But when we
jokes.
get
The
there,
smile
he'd be like,
Sick.
I don't even see any smiles in that aisle. And I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, dad.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that joke.
Oh,
Very
Okay, I gotta
Mr.
say that I
Stinson.
feel like the best regional grocery store is Texas, HEB,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Texas.
Yeah, I've heard of
Dude,
it.
Have you been
HEBs go
HEB?
hard. Oh yeah, because I lived in San Antonio for like 6
Hell
months.
Why is it
yeah,
good?
bro.
Why? Because like all grocery stores to me are kind of similar. So tell me why it's good.
HEB is good just because they have a lot of proprietary like snacks, basically.
Right. So you need
Like just only stuff you can buy at HEB. So
Yeah.
they have their own like
okay.
chips, they have their own jerky.
Otherwise
Like
known
Trader
as private
Joe's.
label.
yeah,
Private label.
it's a
Yeah.
private. It's really good.
when you call it proprietary, it sounds like some like tech.
Like proprietary software. Yeah,
they have like
yeah.
proprietary like,
Whatever.
food
Yeah,
technology.
Yeah, okay, we get it. You're an engineer.
You know what?
Fucking
You know what else they have?
bastard.
They have like prepared meals. They have a lot of really good prepared meals, like
Oh,
pre-prepared
mhm.
meals, or like take and bake, basically type of shit. Just pop it in your oven
It's
for
one
a
of those
couple
things because
minutes.
like Texas is deeply annoying and everything they like is stupid. Like I hate it when Texans
Hey,
are like
barbecue's pretty great.
Whataburgers. I'm like Whataburger fucking
Oh.
sucks.
Yeah, I had a
thing,
Whataburger.
though-
It's like
okay,
the worst
what
one.
I do-
but they got me on that one. HEB is worth being proud of.
I feel like
Good
there's
job,
that's like
Texas.
one of the benefits of like traditionalism is like holding yourself to a high standard in a sense, right?
Mhm.
Where it's like you're trying to like make money by providing the most value, not by having the least cost.
Yeah, not taking the Walmart
not by
path.
just cutting costs as much as you can.
Yeah.
Right. So
the Walmart.
I feel
or
like that
Amazon.
charm of like, whoa, fool.
Some technical difficulties here, folks. Please stand by.
That traditionalism kind of comes through in those grocery stores. It's pretty
It
nice.
does. Yeah.
They treat you well. They bag your shit for you still.
Mm-hmm. They don't do that shit here.
Yo, fascism ain't too bad.
I know. Yeah. At least out of fascism, at least you get a sense of community.
Yeah.
Right, another point I had.
Oh my god.
Well, another
You
thing I
just told
had
me.
about the movie. Another little note.
You mean I
Yeah.
don't have to join
Wait.
air hockey leagues?
Yeah, join air hockey.
I can be a
leagues.
fascist
Swear
instead.
allegiance to the state.
I don't have to be.
You
in
get
a-
delicious pre-cooked meals at the HEB. It's not bad. You know, grow up.
I could do Texas again.
Yeah. Okay. So the other thing,
Let's do it.
we
Let's
run
go buy a
into
giant
we run
house.
into California militiamen, and they're all wearing bright Hawaiian shirts, despite the fact that they are at war and are very clearly visible.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like they just got done with like beach
These
life.
tropical
Yeah.
militias
It's like
in like Connecticut or
Like
wherever
they
the fuck
just had
were.
Saturday with the boys, and then they
Yeah,
were like,
and
"All
they
right,
come
guys,
up
now we
like,
gotta
"Oh, I
go raid
guess."
this building."
Mhm.
And it's just like, who are they and who are they fighting?
We don't care. And the other thing is, it's all
But
about.
guys, the girl got a really cool shot, so who cares?
But that's the thing. It's all the other thing I'll point out too is it's all about her taking photos, but all of her photographs are objectively terrible. The ones that come up, they're all bad. All the ones she takes are bad.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think the reason why
I thought one was cool.
I think the reason why is that they really over like did the whole like camera like
Absolutely,
shot.
oh my
dude.
God, that,
Oh yeah,
like,
the whole story, the whole movie. They're just whenever they take a picture, they cut to that picture for like half a second. It's very fucking.
It made the
annoying.
scenes very staccato. Like
Yes.
it was very just kind of like
and
like
they
stop
yeah.
and
mute
start.
the audio when they show
So
the picture.
here's what you
too.
do, right? It's like it's like even a movie like I mean it's not a I mean the movie I'm gonna reference is actually a pretty good movie, but like The Hangover nailed this, where there's pictures that you allude to and that are taken, and you wait until the very end
yeah.
to see them. And wouldn't it have been nice to recount the events of the movie in an emotional way with these really just like provocative photos, right?
Yeah. 100%.
To some sad music or something like that.
during the credits or something.
Yeah, instead of just
Yeah.
like with no sound, just sort of just like like inserting them in. Like they're
inserting
like
them in.
fucking ad breaks basically.
Yeah,
or like
basically,
you know
yeah.
in animes like they go on like commercial and they have like those
And then
cards.
they like come back.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist. That's what it was. It was
Yeah.
like bang.
the
Civil War.
I thought it was
And it comes
adorable
back.
though. The last photo.
Civil War.
The last photo they show is the group of soldiers that killed the president, and they're all just like buddy. They're all just broing it out. They're all smiling, like putting their hands around each other. Like that last photo was really adorable.
Bro, they like got all together like it was like a gang hit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, which ended the movie on a funny note.
I don't even remember
Silly.
that.
It was silly.
She takes
the
a
whole movie
picture.
was silly. Good job.
I mean,
Kirsten Dunst dying was hilarious. I remember in the middle of the theater
I
when
forgot that she died. Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
she was like, "Just die."
Yeah,
Nathan was awesome on that. Like right when she's about to get paused, Nathan just says,
like,
"Yes, please."
and the whole theater loved it.
And everybody clapped.
Like, it was like everyone internally was like, "Oh, you all hate this movie too," and they all like acknowledged it.
It felt very cathartic.
Yeah, everyone
was
together
very
like agreed
cathartic.
that we wanted the main character to
We're like,
die.
oh yeah,
that's
this
how much we
movie-
hated the movie.
this is pretty boring.
another funny part. When
Wait, sorry.
ahead.
Wait, real quick. And speaking of everyone hating it, we saw a churn rate of 3, or at least a churn.
Oh,
a
yeah.
churn total of 3. We saw 3 people
And then a dude
get
behind us
up
fell asleep.
and walk out of the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen
And
that
like
in a while.
one guy was like aggressively. It was like 25
Yeah.
minutes.
He
and
wanted
he was
everyone
right.
to know that
He was
right.
right because I remember one of my notes was like 20 minutes in. I still don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I want to find that guy's podcast and listen to his review.
Oh, yeah, you
'cause,
know,
like,
he's
he's
going
probably
fam.
livid.
What were you gonna say?
Another funny note. A reaction that all three of us had was like the guy's like, "That'll be $100. Like I have 300." Kirsten Dunst is like, "I have $300," and she's like, "So?" And she was like, $300 Canadian, and we were like, "Oh, because Canada's not affected by this at all.
It's like,
Canada's
oh
different."
my god, could you be any more of a fucking Brit, bro?
Yeah, like,
could
like,
you lack any more understanding?
okay,
What-
like, if-
that's all you need. You need to show someone that and be like, this is how much this fool understands what's going on
Nothing,
here.
dude. And okay, so like if
But
the
this
United
episode
States
is-
collapsed into war, Canada is fucking completely reliant on us economically and for security. Like if
Unfortunately.
And for culture,
everything. Canada
everything.
sucks. Canada fucking sucks.
But there's
Fuck
a
Canada.
large
most
group
of their fucking countries are uninhabitable.
There's
Yeah.
a large
Shit.
group of people that will watch that scene and go, "Oh my god, that's true."
There's also
No, they're just like, oh, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm
that's so
saying.
true because Canada would be so much better because they have healthcare.
I bet the Canadians are probably just like,
yeah, jerking themselves
they
off.
Canadians really like to talk
They
shit
don't
about the
know.
U.S.
Oh my god,
They really-
they can
they-
eat a dick. If
I've
any
met-
Canadian had the audacity to speak ill of my country in front of me, I would have words. I would throw hands. Canada sucks. It's 4 cities.
I
It's 4
agree.
cities.
That's
Maybe.
insane. Wait, what about like fucking Ottawa and shit and like Saskatchewan and stuff?
No, but
I'm
no,
basically
no.
just naming the teams from the CFL.
There's-
the Canadian Football League
No,
that I recognize.
it's
But
Toronto,
Winnipeg,
Vancouver.
Winnipeg.
But like those are irrelevant
So you're
cities.
talking, it's
maybe
Vancouver,
Montreal.
It's Vancouver, it's Montreal, which is not even really Canada.
You know how-
Toronto-
you know
they
how-
can barely even claim Montreal. It's not even really Canada.
That's it. There's only 3 cities. There's
You know
3
how you know
cities where
Canada
90% of
sucks?
Canada
You could probably
lives.
throw Quebec City in.
You know
Yeah.
how you know Canada sucks is we never even tried to get it.
No,
Yep,
we did
yeah, we did.
actually.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we
Never
did.
mind.
Yeah.
No, during the
Cut
War of
that part
18.
out.
Oh, how
Cut that
embarrassing,
part
Jacob, not
out.
knowing his history.
We
Yeah,
were just
no.
kind of wore out. We were just wore out. It wasn't really like
But
You know.
if it was more attractive, maybe we would have tried harder.
But
That's
it's
what I'm saying.
honestly, it's also not on the British just reinforced Canada with a bunch of British troops,
yeah.
and we had already beaten them and got our own country, so it's
Yeah.
not that big a deal.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like we just all right. We're pretty
Are they
like
British or French? I thought they were French.
no
No.
Canadians?
Quebec
Don't
is
speak-
French.
Oh, only
Yeah,
Quebec?
no, but
Yeah.
at the time, like eventually, all of Canada was conquered by England as well, by Britain.
Yeah,
So it was like it stopped being a French colony and then became a British colony for a very, very long time, and then
Yo, that's a country.
declared
That's a
independence.
country that's worse than Canada. The
What?
UK.
the UK, yeah, all of Europe can eat a dick. I'm sure it's
No,
nice to visit.
no. I mean, I've never been to mainland. Ireland was
okay,
sick.
okay. Before we go forward, which parts of Europe have you been to?
I'm just kidding. I like Europe's fun.
Me? I've only been to Ireland and UK, but I liked Ireland.
No,
way more.
well, here's a question: is it fair? What is the UK like?
Here,
You mean
can't-
England?
Yes.
I was just being
Yes.
needlessly
I mean
nationalistic.
England.
Europeans, I love you. Don't
Sorry, I
worry.
mean England.
Just joking.
England?
Yeah.
No, because the UK, like, what does that even entail?
The UK is
It's
England, Scotland, and Northern
Wales, and Northern Ireland.
Oh, I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
I always thought it was like, does that count like fucking Australia?
No, bro.
Or
No,
Canada?
It's their own country. No, but they're
It
the
is
Commonwealth,
now.
right?
Yeah.
It is not.
Or
the United
They're all
States?
part of the Commonwealth. Yeah. I mean, hey, to this day, we
Bro.
have a historic military alliance now with both the UK and Australia. Like we're sharing like military secrets.
For sure.
We're teaching Australia how to build nuclear submarines.
Guys, you know how Warner Brothers you know how Warner Brothers killed the Batgirl movie for like a tax write-off?
No.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, that's basically what the UK started doing with countries.
Yeah,
they're just like, you're too
fucking
expensive.
sorry, man.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's funny because with Canada, like they gave Canada their independence just because Canada was like, please, and they were like, oh, okay. And they just gave
no
it.
one wants to be over there anymore anyway.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
It's
by that
considered a
time.
I don't
punishment
mean to be a
sent
bother,
Canada.
but
It's
could
considered
you
a
let
punishment
us
to
be
stationed
free?
in
Sorry.
fucking Alberta, Canada.
Oh, dude, that must suck.
It's cold as shit there, bro.
Yeah, it's really cold.
I feel like the people who are from there like it, but like, of course you do. You're from there.
Yeah,
Dude,
man,
yeah,
like
like,
anywhere.
and it's like part of their identity. They're the kind of people where if you go there in the summer, they're like, "Oh, you should be here during the winter."
Yeah,
And I'll be like,
but
It
Midwest is like
really
that too,
sucks.
I'm like, that's the reason I don't live here.
Exactly.
No, I'm not doing that.
How much does your house cost there?
Yo, one thing about Canada that rocks though is Tim Hortons. You know what
Is
Tim
that
Hortons
actually
is?
good? It's
I've
from
never been to a
Starbucks,
Tim
right?
Hortons.
It's like it's like a coffee shop with like baked goods and stuff. Their iced coffee is like fucking straight up
Oh,
crack,
really?
bro. Yeah, it's like meth basically. It's
Oh,
like
I gotta check it
it
out.
is some strong, delicious shit,
Mm.
dude.
You know, they have
It's
a
great.
cold brew on tap at my work because I work. I
There's
work
a
in
few
tech.
Tim Hortons in the U.S.
it's
though. Hold
fair.
on before that, and they're terrible.
Oh, yeah, probably not. Because like back in Canada, they have like a very high standard.
They have
Whereas here,
pride.
Americans don't know what a Tim Horton is.
We're just whores now.
Yeah, we don't care.
We're
We'll
just
eat
like,
slop. Americans have no
we're just
taste
like a
now.
country of whores.
But they have
For that dollar.
They have a cold brew on tap at my work, and they call it addictive cold brew, and I find that in very poor taste.
That
Like,
is like very insulting.
yeah, because
That's
it's
so
literally a drug.
Why would you call it that?
Why? Yeah, why would you choose that?
Who called it that? Is your company calling it? Is that the vendor?
No. The vendor, like the brand of the cold brew that we have on tap is called addictive cold brew. It's like why?
Maybe it works, man. You know, some people wear that as a badge of honor. That's what I'm saying. We are horribly corroded.
Yeah, no, we got nothing
value
left.
wise.
You
Like,
know, that's why I'm saying it's like, you know, we're in a time of genuine like distrust, alienation. We're very divided,
very cyberpunk.
very cyber. So right now would be a good time for a movie called Civil War, and then he just fumbles the bag. You know, he
Yeah.
just fumbled the bag. Like there's just so much to say about the state of the country, the state of our culture that you can really get into and
He could have
drive
been a
into.
peace builder and been like, "Hey, y'all,
Yeah,
why don't we all just hold hands?"
something.
Or
We don't even
hug.
get that. We don't even get like that.
You could even have the balls to fucking not only have the Civil War, but resolve the Civil War.
Yeah.
What a big opportunity, bro. You could have really said something here.
He said nothing. That's the biggest.
You
thing.
know,
They did resolve it. They killed Nick Offerman.
they could have unified.
Oh, I have a note
because-
about that. That it was funny that he was in that role. Like I've never seen him in a role where he's not a joke.
That was really The Last of Us.
I've never seen The Last
TV
of Us.
show. He's the entire one episode, and it's one of the better episodes. It's really good. But he did suck in this movie. Yeah.
How do we feel? So, do you think this like legitimizes video games as an art form that
Which
there's
ones?
actually television adaptations of? I'm being
Yes.
serious.
No,
you know?
Oh, yeah,
actually,
yeah.
it's good now
like
because
that
the
are
last.
popular and accepted by the mainstream.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. The Last of Us is good, and
Like it's like legit source material. Is what I'm
and
saying.
you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
Do you know what Fallout is?
Of course.
Sorry. What was
Fallout New Vegas is my favorite
yeah,
video
the
game of all
Fallout
time.
show came out on
Wow.
Prime, and I watched the whole thing.
It's
It's
really
really
good.
good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
I
like
gotta check it out.
wow. And I legitimately told my dad to watch it. Didn't tell him it was based on a video game because I didn't want that to scare him off because he doesn't need to know anything about the game. to
Yeah,
watch it.
you really don't. Yeah,
Which
it's
is
a
why
whole
these
thing.
have been successful. Yeah.
Lighter.
Oh.
Huh.
I was gonna say it's recording, but
Yeah, you know, Phyllis, how long have we been at this for?
It's been a while.
an hour. I started recording about 5 or 10 minutes before Oscar sat down, but this is long enough.
Yeah, I say we call it
Yeah.
here. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right, cool. Yeah,
for the non-existent audience we have right now. Thank you
Don't
for
see
the
Civil
equipment,
War.
Jacob.
It sucks.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh yeah. So yeah, would you recommend Civil War?
No.
No,
It's-
absolutely.
Thank God
not.
it's under 2 hours, but don't even waste that on this.
The
No.
best part about watching Civil War was hanging out with you guys. Of course, that was
The
the
best
best.
It was
part-
just
Getting
something
out
to
with
do.
friends.
Yeah, it was
if-
like it got us together.
If Oscar wasn't next to us going, why are they at Civil War for 30 minutes? It would have been way less enjoyable.
If I was
So
watching
don't
that
see it by
alone,
yourself.
I would have. If I was watching that alone, or heaven forbid, I'd used it as like a date night opportunity. I would have been very angry. I
Honestly,
would've been
see it on a
very
ton of
upset.
mushrooms. Maybe that'll make you like vibe.
No,
with the-
no,
that's not even
no.
that. It's not even a mushroom movie.
It'll just make you upset that you're doing that.
You're just
Oh,
like, I can't
okay,
believe I wasted
why am I here?
my $40.
I could have been somewhere else. Right
True.
now.
You could've
I
been
guess.
in the village,
I guess the
man.
only
You could've
movie
been
I've
walking
seen on
around with some
mushrooms is
trees.
Dune, so I only have like the best experience possible. Like in my mind, Stream just makes everything like you're just like, oh, this is great.
Well,
I
no,
don't- even
Dune
if
is
it's
the
bad.
perfect mushroom movie.
Nathan,
but-
watch Oppenheimer. We'll talk about it. At some
Okay,
point.
we'll watch Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I think I would
On
like to keep
shrooms.
this as a regular part of the Discord of the podcast. We should watch movies and talk about it. We're living in a time where there might actually be a civil war. So love the one you're with. You know, get laid.
Yeah,
Do
I'm
some
about to
fun
have a
stuff.
civil war.
You gotta just do what
With
you want,
you.
man.
Dude,
Iran has attacked Israel.
I know.
Yo,
There's
my
fucking
parents-
drones going into Israel. It can't be good. They're gonna try to into a war on their side against Iran.
When I call my
Way
parents,
to go.
I called my parents today, and they asked me about that, and I was like, "Wow, heavy subject." And I was like, "I don't really know what's going on." And then it got to a point
Privilege.
Oh, it's privilege. So you don't understand the conflict that's going on.
where
We're switching to NPR mode right
Jamie,
now.
can you check
Yeah,
that?
go back here, Jamie.
Jamie, can you
Let me
fact
put my
check
head
that?
up my ass real quick.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's one of the, I think, the major problems these days is, we're so frequently overwhelmed with information that we can't even have a human moment where we understand conflict.
Make sure that you
around
take the
it.
time that you need. It's been actually statistically proven that napping increases your
Oh my
productivity. You
God.
feel
Actually, at
better.
one point,
you can
at
work
one-
longer hours for your employer.
At one point, I actually had to ask my mom what war she was talking about,
Oh,
and
man.
that like to me, I was like,
But hey, dude,
that's
okay,
so
so
sad. I
like
had to ask that.
that's it's funny, but it is also very sad. That, yeah, because it's like there is
She was
the
she was-
world is
She was like, yeah, they're
filled
using
with conflict right now.
they're using really old stuff, and I was like, Iran, and she was like, no, Russia, and I was like, oh, if you switch wars, you have to tell me.
It's
like
true.
you just randomly start
Yeah.
talking about Russia. And I was like,
Dude,
what?
never trust any like of a certain generation. They don't know what the fuck is going on because like every time I talk to like my Sarah's dad, my wife's dad, every time he tried to explain to me what was going on in Ukraine, he was just wrong. He was just like, "Oh man, Russia's getting their butts kicked," and it's like, no, they've been losing this entire time. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I
You
think
talk to a boomer about Israel, they have such a fucking skewed view of the reality on the ground there.
yeah,
that
my
it's
parents
like-
just know
Thanks
whatever.
to the
is-
good old television.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whenever's
yeah,
on
because they've
ABC News nightly, and I know they watch it every night because when I'm home they watch it, and whenever I get texts about like big things, it's like at the same time every day, and
What?
I'm like, oh, they're watching the news.
Like
Yeah,
it makes all that
that's it.
satire from back then that seemed really cheesy about how like TV controls you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
looking back, it's like, bro, there was like 3 fucking channels.
Yeah, it really was. And
Everybody
dude,
was on the same page,
some of those ones are
and they
pretty
didn't control
funny,
what
man.
page. They didn't control what the book was.
Yeah.
But everyone's on the same
Have you
page.
ever seen
bro.
Robo? Oh, that's another one you got to see, RoboCop.
Oh, I
I've
know.
never
I
seen
got
that
it. Yeah.
either.
Oh
I
my
should
god!
watch
Oh my
it.
god!
Yeah, I
RoboCop.
gotta watch
But there's some parody news anchors there. That's so funny.
It's one of those movies people don't realize is a parody, right? Or like a satire.
No, that's Starship Troopers, same director, but it's not. I mean, I guess it's kind of satirical.
I heard RoboCop is like a. What would you say? It's like it's a commentary on like police, like a police states essentially.
Yeah, it's funny because like the premise is this corporation basically buys the police force.
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Really?
That's
What?
not satire. Come
That's
on.
awesome.
Yeah, well, whatever. I'm like getting afraid of terms, but they buy.
Well, an evil
They-
corp buys
they-
the police. That's not fucking
Yeah, it's like
satire.
Omnicorp or something, and they buy the police force. and
Evil
then,
bad guy corp.
Yeah, and then it's these like
Evil
these two
Corp?
guys,
That's actually
these
the
two
name of-
members of the board that are competing with each other with how they're gonna like improve the police force, and one of them builds a giant robot, and the other one builds RoboCop.
So a corporate dick measuring contest is
Basically,
what
yeah.
RoboCop is
Yeah,
about.
we gotta watch it.
Dude,
How many
You
more
know what
skulls
could
can we
actually-
crack?
You know, what could actually be another fun thing to just give a try at would be you guys ever watch like Mystery Theater 3000?
Oh,
Oh yeah, where they
we
just
we
like
could
it's
talk
like
about the
Beavis and
movies.
Butthead
We could
basically.
just film
It's Beavis
ourselves
and Butthead.
watching a movie and just talking about it.
Dude, those are really popular.
Yeah.
Like those videos are
And-
really
and you
popular.
just tell the person to like sync it because obviously we can't see the movie, but that's a good way to like.
We could
have
just
it.
literally just
Like
watch a movie
commentaries.
someday.
Oh yeah,
Is
that'd
what-
be
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. and
We
just
should do that.
Okay, we're speculating on different content now, so I think now's a good time.
Let's
to
stop
but-
recording.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you,
yeah.
folks.
Okay, good night.
Yeah.
Bye.
Unless you're listening to this in the morning, then good morning. Goodbye.
Still bye. Fuck you.
Nathan deletes it.